So let's go ahead and look at this example. So I have a program here that is a piston crank mechanism. I've got a whole bunch of variables, but essentially I'm calculating position, velocity, and acceleration. And I want to go ahead and plot my data in a figure. So I'll plot it all in the same figure, and then we'll plot it in different subplots. So in figure 1, I want to go ahead and plot all in one figure, or one axis. That's what it's called, a set of axes. So I can go ahead and I can plot, they're all with respect to t. So I can go ahead and say plot tx. And so that's my first one. And then I want to go ahead and do them all together. So tv and ta. So if I go ahead and do that, I can see what my figure looks like. So they're not really great. I don't really know which one is which, so I can go ahead and start to change their parameters. So let's say I want the position to be plotted as a solid black line. Let's say I want the velocity to be plotted as a dashed red line, and the acceleration to be plotted as a dashed blue line. That's what that looks like. So now I can start to see what each one is. Once again, it's not great. You can see the acceleration here kind of takes over the axes, which is fine. We can go ahead and change that with a subplot. But here we go. I have my data. I'm going to add a title. So piston crank mechanism. I can add in an X label. So this would be time, probably in seconds. I can go ahead and add in a Y label. I'm not going to do a Y label because it's different for each one. But you can see I've added those pieces. I can go ahead and add in a legend where I can see my first line is my position. My second line is my velocity. And my third line is my acceleration. Okay, my legend doesn't like that. Let's try lowercase velocity. It looks like velocity is a parameter or something along those lines. Or position. Let's try lowercase position. Nope, still doesn't like that. So let's try a different word for position. X location, or location. Nope. I can't do location either. Position. Position. We'll do pause. Okay, so position is a parameter of legend. It's where it should be positioned. And I can go ahead and specify the location. Let's say I want it in the northwest. And we go ahead and put it in the northwest corner. And then lastly, I want to go ahead and add a grid. So grid on. So there we go. I've plotted it all in the same figure. As I said previously, the acceleration kind of dominates, so let's go ahead and spread it into multiple subplots. So figure 2. I'm going to stack them on top of each other, so I want subplot. So I want a matrix, essentially, of 3 rows, 1 column, and in my first one, I'm going to go ahead and plot T and X. I'm going to plot it as, once again, a solid black line. Let's say I want the line width to be a little bit thicker. Line width of 3. We'll start there. I can go ahead and add a title, position. I can go ahead and add an X label, time in seconds. Now I can go ahead and add a Y label, distance. I don't know what was my distance. I don't know. Some distance units. Meters? That's probably not correct, but that's okay. That was but that's okay. There we go. So if I do that, we can see there is my position graph. I can go ahead and add a grid. Once again, grids look nice. And there's my grid. Now below that, I want to go ahead and plot my velocity. So plot t and v. And let's say I want it once again to be a dashed red line, and I want a line width of 2. I can go ahead and change my title, velocity, and go ahead and change my y label, velocity, say meters per second. Once again, probably not correct. And I go ahead and forgot to change my subplot. So now it's my second subplot. So now here's my first subplot and my second subplot. We can see my velocity, and then we can go ahead and do our third subplot and change my acceleration. So I want my acceleration to be a dashed dotted blue line again. And we'll do a line with a 1. Acceleration. Acceleration. Meters second squared. And there we go. You can see it even changed my caret 2 to be raised to a power of 2. So there is some sort of graphics built into MATLAB and how you annotate your plots. But there we go. We can see my position plot, my velocity plot, and my acceleration. Here they are plotted on the same one. Acceleration kind of takes over, so we can plot it in separate ones. Totally forgot to change my line. Where we can see the acceleration has its own range. And we can go ahead and change the axes ranges as well if we want. But there's another example on how we might choose all of our different options depending on what we want our plots to look like.